set of triplets, brothers that will all swim for UGA. Jay Litherland, Gunnar Bentz will also swim for UGA next year. So Chase Kalish at 20 years of age, going to have some teammates and some, man, you talk about a powerhouse IM squad they're going to have. Sebastian Russo, South African native, Gator Swim Club, comes out of lane 6. He's a two-time Olympian. Dan Wallace represents Great Britain, the Gator Swim Club in lane 7. Corey Okubo from the Aquazat Swim Club, 18-year-old, starts out of lane 8. And Diago de Carvalho from Portugal and the Gator Swim Club. He's competed in the previous Grand Prix in this distance. He'll be out of lane 9.
Good international field, Ted. 4 countries represented. You see Kalish. Over 25 countries here in Santa Clara. Kalish, again, is the top qualifier. And as you mentioned in the women's 400, I mean, it's kind of easy to zero your eyes in on that top qualifier. They swim between the white lane lines, so they're in the middle of the pool. A little different than you normally see in most meets. Most meets will only have 8 lanes, and the top qualifier swims in lane 4, but you have lane 1 at the top. Lane 9 is at the very bottom of the screen.
So going out here, Kalish, by the way, competed and finished second here last night in the 200 breast. What has made Chase Kalish to you now right now, as we speak, the top 400 IMer in the United States?
Well, certainly being able to get better in all 4 strokes. I mean, normally when he was younger, he just had such a weak front half of his IM. He could never run anybody down from the back half, even though it was good. Now he's starting to put together a solid butterfly, backstroke, maybe his weakest stroke. He's gotten much better on that. But watch him, what he still does, he still perfects that great back half. Beautiful breaststroker and a solid freestyler. So now he's starting to put all the pieces together, sort of like Michael did. And by the way, he trains with Michael at North Baltimore in the summers when he's not at Georgia. And that helps a lot, too. Even though Michael might not be going with a 400 IM, but to be able to have all those great swimmers up there certainly helps.
And that's a concept you just referenced, Rowdy, that all of us can understand, no matter what the sport is. It's awfully hard to continually play catch-up, to try to chase people down. And that's so much a factor has to be in the IM, to be able to have the first either 100 or 200, depending on the distance, is strong.
And you're right, and I think that comes a lot with maturity, especially for men, because when you start to get a little more mature in the water physically, it helps a lot. And because he's a long, lengthy fellow, I mean, he's 20 years old. He just turned 20 in March, so he's still young in the sport. He's got a long way to go. I mean, remember when Michael Phelps won that gold in Beijing when he went 4:03, which is, by the way, still the world record. He was still young, what, 20 years old.
Well, I continually get astounded when we do this event, every one of these Grand Prix, I'm with you, Rowdy, and you get to the 400 IM and you look at the all-time swims, and it's still Phelps and Lochte combined to have 8 of the 10 all-time swims. Lochte has 5, Phelps has 3, including the world record. Tyler Clary has 1, and Laszlo Che has 1. But that bar that those 2 swimmers have set is extraordinary. Do you suspect Lochte would even think about this for Rio?
I definitely think so. Oh, yeah, I definitely think he will swim this event in Rio if he can get healthy. The problem with Lochte is he just can't get healthy. Can't get over the hump as far as just making sure on a day-to-day basis he stays healthy, which he's always had problems because he's such a free-spirited guy and he doesn't worry about that very much. But when he's not in the pool, they just need to tie him up.
Well, Chase Kalish is doing in this event what Beisel just did in the women's side. He is just extending his lead over 5 seconds here at the end of the freestyle.
Great swim going on here for Chase Kalish. Exactly what Beisel did. No American in the top 10 in the world this year so far. And he's going to go right back. He was 3:12 at the 300, Ted. That is well on his way of breaking 4:10, which would really put him into a different stratosphere as far as this year is concerned. 42.8 at the 350. He's going to be very good. He's going to be under 414, that's for sure.
Right. That would be a top 10 time in the world this year. So here comes Chase Kalish, silver medalist to Daiya Saito of Japan at the Worlds last summer. And right now, America's top 400 IMer comes in at 4:11.71, fifth in the world this year. And like Elizabeth Feisel's time, that's about 2.5 seconds, just 2.5 seconds off his personal best. And there is the definitive view of the 400 IM.
Exactly. That's what a 400 IM looks like when you're done with it. But two fantastic performances by Elizabeth Beisel and now Chase Kalish in what many say is the most grueling event in the sport of swimming. But look at the difference between the 200, the halfway point. This is the even mark right here between Rousseau and Kalish. And then watch what Kalish does on his best stroke. That is the breaststroke. He's just so good at keeping that timing rhythm together. Great length of stroke, extends out as much as possible, where he's getting great distance per stroke. But look at the 300 mark. This is, he's probably 5 seconds ahead of Rousseau at this point. It's just clear sailing from here as he finishes up with a strong 59 plus at the end on the last 100 freestyle, 4:11. Beautiful swim by Chase Kalish.
And interesting, this swim here tonight was 1/10 of a second faster, Chase, than you swam in Indianapolis last summer to win the World Championship trials. So we start. Are you surprised by your time?
I kind of had an idea where I wanted to be, and I actually wanted to be a little bit faster, but I think that's good for right now. Just came down from a hard altitude training camp where we logged a lot of workouts. So to go that time right now, I'm not really that disappointed, but still have bigger goals.
What were you thinking when you turned and watched the clock when you finished that race? It looked like it took a lot out of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the hardest race in swimming. So, I mean, it feels good to come down from altitude after training for it and get some satisfaction. So definitely happy to be done and looking forward to the next race.
All right, we're going to let you recover. You've earned it. Congratulations, Chase.
Thank you.
Chase Kalish with a terrific 4:11.71. Sebastian Rousseau got second. Jay Litherland, we talked about these young swimmers.